Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Walton, and in this short video, I'm going to show you the brainwaves required to be able to reprogram your subconscious mind, but not in a way that hypnosis tries to do, in the new way with rapid reprogramming by creating what's called gamma brainwaves. So if you're interested in reprogramming your subconscious, updating your subconscious beliefs, and making sure your subconscious mind is working for you with rapid reprogramming techniques by creating a peak brain state known as gamma, then I think you'll find this video very interesting. So you're going to see a slightly younger and certainly a more closely shaven version of me take you through this. Let's have a look. To understand what a peak mindset is, let's quickly look at what your brainwaves do in a 24-hour day and night cycle. Now, brainwaves are the electrical firing of brain cells communicating with each other. We generally have 4 different types in a 24-hour period, depending on what we are doing. For example, as I am now, I'm wide awake, I'm looking at the camera, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next, I'm alert and focused. My brain will be in a dominant beta wave. With the pace and pressures of life today, most people spend too long in beta, on the go all the time with work and family and life stuff, and they can never switch off and relax. Now, this is not good, and suggestions are that too long in beta and you can become overly anxious and move towards depression. Now, when we relax and slow down, the brain also slows down and goes into a slower brainwave we call alpha. Alpha is when we feel a sense of calm, there's less of that negative inner voice, we feel more relaxed. Here we can have creative ideas, we can daydream and have insights about what we need to do. As we relax even more, we create theta waves. Now, theta is a place of almost light sleep. The body, brain, nervous system is deeply relaxed. And as we move into a deep sleep, we create what's called delta waves. Now, in adults, there is no conscious awareness at all. As adults, in delta, we are in deep sleep. Now, let's see how these brainwaves develop when we are children, as this shows us how our subconscious mind was programmed in the first place. For the first 2 years of our life as babies, our dominant brainwave is delta. Here, our 5 physical senses are active and we're taking in all the information from our environment. We're watching our mother communicates with father or sister or a person in a shop, and how different each communication is depending on the context. So we're watching and learning, soaking in all the information from the world, downloading it into our subconscious mind, forming the rules of life. Now, as the baby reaches 2 years of age, we see activation of the theta wave. At 6 years of age, we see the alpha wave become active, and at 12 years of age, we see the beta wave become active, which interestingly coincides with about the time we go to senior school. So to reprogram our subconscious, we have to get the brain waves into this deep theta alpha state, because that's where the majority of the programming was done in the first place. Now, this is what hypnosis tries to do, to get your brain into a deep alpha theta state to be reprogrammed. However, hypnosis is a bit hit and miss. Many people have a lot of defense mechanisms about hypnosis, feeling that they're being hypnotized. I used to use hypnosis in my one-to-one practice 15 years ago, but today, based on the leading edge of science, there are much faster and more powerful ways to program the subconscious mind. Now, there's also another type of brainwave, and this brainwave is called the gamma wave. Now, gamma waves are created when we are functioning at our peak. In sport, we call it the zone. In psychology, we call it flow. Now, when you create gamma waves, more of your brain cells fire at the same time, and this is called neural synchrony. This creates a state of coherence, meaning all of you work as one, which means you access more of your potential. Now, gamma waves are correlated with a super focused mind, leading to higher levels of thought, increased awareness and intuition, and increased awareness is something useful to us all. You can't have too much awareness. The more self-aware you are and aware of others, the more influence you have. They're correlated with better ideas, allowing you to see new opportunities. You have improved concentration and focus, and increased happiness and calmness. Gamma waves also switch your stress response off. They send signals into the emotional fight-flight area of your brain and retrain it so that confidence and clarity and focus become much more natural states of being rather than the negative emotions such as anxiety and fear and self-doubt. There's some interesting research done at the University of Wisconsin in the States by Dr. Richard Davidson. Now, he brought in Buddhist monks with over 10,000 hours of meditation experience and measured their brainwave activity as they were doing a meditation on compassion. They also had a control group, which was a bunch of students that were taught this compassion meditation over a week's period so they could be part of the study. Interestingly, when the Buddhist brain were scanned and mapped during this meditation process, they saw high levels of gamma wave activity through these Buddhists that really showed a high level of coherence, everything working as one, and then being in a state of flow or the zone. But for the students, they didn't show any gamma waves at all. They just showed a dominant alpha wave, showing a nice, calm, relaxed system. Interesting things. There was another study also which was shown on a program on the BBC over here in the UK from a program called Horizon, which is a long-standing documentary program. And they were measuring people's brainwaves as they were doing problem-solving activities. So it was a pen and paper task, basically, question and answer. But interestingly, what they saw was just a few milliseconds before they got the answer to the question, they got the answer to the problem, they would see these bursts of gamma waves where the brain would sort of light up and work as one just milliseconds before they become conscious and they realize what the actual answer was and they write the answer down. So that's really quite an interesting study as well to see, Buddhists producing these gamma waves and this finding gamma waves are a burst just before we get solutions to problems. So to effectively program your subconscious mind, you need to create this peak brain signature. And let me show you how to do this with the gamma mindset technique.